Hey, sis. Thank you so much for joining me again for Wealthy Women. This week is, of course, the fourth week of June. And so we're going to be discussing our net worth network. And that is absolutely essential because you know that your net worth is equal to your network. And that's where that comes from. A little play on words there. But really getting to understand, and that's what we're going to do, pull apart what does that really mean? What does that really look like for each and every one of us? Of course, I am Kivette Minor Kane, your financial liberation expert from More Life LLC. And we're going to talk about, who you hang around with or who you associate with and how they can contribute to your mindset in terms of creating your net worth. Okay. And that's where your net worth network comes into play. So for wealthy women, I just like to welcome you again. And of course, you know that that here is where we chat with pros and experts about maintaining wellness, growing wealth, and celebrating womanhood. Life is an amazing adventure, and our goal here is to give you a valuable pit stop to refuel, refill, and refresh. So every Wednesday, you can join me live on Facebook or YouTube by searching for More Life. Be sure to like our page and to subscribe to our channel. And so this evening, I have with us as our special guest, I have Miss Charlene Lady J Jenkins from Baltimore, Maryland. She is a master networker and a media mogul. Let me tell y'all, this lady has got so much going on. She's got a magazine, she's got a radio. She's going to be on 3 shows just in this one night. So she's busy networking and making it work through her media networks. And so I want to bring her on so she can tell us a little bit more about who she is and what she does and how that contributes to our net worth network. Hey, Miss Lady J, how are you?
How are you? I'm tired,
I'm
but
doing great. Thank you.
yeah, I'm good.
Good. It's fabulous to see you. And I thank you so much for taking this time to join us this evening. The community here is, women who are in transition, who are making the decision to choose to move forward with their financial planning, their financial management, and making sure that they've got their coins counted and everything is organized for their future, building a nice, stable foundation so that they can move forward. And so we're discussing the fundamentals, and there's some cute, some cool tips that you're going to give us about, things that you've experienced and how you've actually built your network. But tell us first a little bit about what you do and who you are, please.
Okay, so can you hear me okay? You hear me good?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you great.
Because I'm on vacation, I'm totally out of my element, and I'm looking around for my microphone and everything, and I'm like, that's right, I don't have it. Anyway, so I'm in a corner right now trying to do the show. But just to tell you a little bit about myself, I actually am the owner of Lady J Media Butterfly Entertainment. And I call myself the social butterfly only because I love talking to people and I'm just here, there, and everywhere. So at any time of the day, you could see me here and then you'll see me somewhere else. That's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to shock a lot of people because I'm in Florida today. And tomorrow morning I'll be in Florida, but tomorrow evening I'll be somewhere else. And so, but it's really fun. I have my station is called What Up Baltimore Online Radio, and so I have 14 shows right now. And what it is, it's primarily for people of color. And I say that because the way I have it set up, the way it's designed is for people who normally wouldn't be able to get on a radio station because of financial reasons. So that's a whole nother subject. But anyway, that's how they get on the station. The magazine is called What Up Baltimore. And What Up Baltimore magazine, it's a magazine that focuses on ordinary people doing extraordinary things in our community. People who are never talked about, they're just kind of looked over. And I don't want the people that are already doing great things, the mayor. Well, I did interview the mayor, but I don't want a lot of those people. I just want everyday people. So we did a
Yeah.
men's edition, and the men's edition was just about ordinary black men in the community who are doing extraordinary things, but nobody talks about it. So
Right.
the magazine, what else? I just graduated June 5th. Got my doctorate in Wow, why am I drawing a blank? I think I'm just tired, brain freeze. But I got my doctorate in divinity, and my study was mental health in the church and in the community because I want to be able to go back into the churches, especially post pandemic, and talk about mental health issues because they're definitely going to have a lot of them coming back into the church, and also help people deal
Mhm.
in the community. So I think that's enough. That's a bit about me. Yeah.
That's quite a bit there. You are quite a master networker and a media mogul with so many channels. So one of the things that I really wanted to discuss with our community here on More and More Life TV is being able to understand, what should they be thinking about as they're, you know, as they are creating their own network or their circle. It's, sometimes we have our girlfriends, who we go and we hang out with, and we have a good time, and some have money and some don't have money, and we don't judge, based on those circumstances. Some we've grown up with for years, and so, based on different situations, we hang out because we love their company. We have things at home, we go out and we do different things. But when we're thinking about how we're going to grow in terms of establishing our financial foundation, what do we need to consider in terms of our association?
Well, here's what I tell everybody, and they'll tell you I say this all the time on my station. If it's not making money, it's not making sense. Because it's okay to hang out with your girlfriends, have fun, but if my girlfriends are not making any money or we're not making any money as we're hanging out, it doesn't make sense. What are we doing? So even with me being on vacation all week, I'm working. I've been networking, laying across the bed, networking, talking to people, still putting stuff out there because and I still have my personal private vacation time, but my week doesn't stop just because I'm on vacation. The most important thing is that you want to hang around like-minded people. That's even in your personal relationship. If you're dating someone, you want to make
Yeah.
sure that you're talking to somebody that's going to understand that people like us in the middle of the night, we get these ideas and then we pop up and we're like, oh yeah, that's right. Or we're on the phone and you can't have somebody saying, who are you texting? And I
Right.
have friends that I network with, and sometimes my phone will ring in the middle of the night. They're like, Lady J, I thought of something. Are you up? I'm like, yeah, I'm up. And it could be 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So you have to make sure that you're always around like minded people, people
Yeah.
who are trying to grow. They're not,
Absolutely.
there's no jealousy, there's nobody stabbing you in the back. Like everybody's on this journey together. What can I do to help you? You know, and if you don't
Absolutely.
have those people in your life, and if they're not, like I said, if they're not clapping for you as you're moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
you need to reevaluate all of that. Are these the people that I really need to be around? And the other thing is, as you're growing in your business, don't tell everybody what's going on. Focus on your
Mm-hmm.
business, work on what you're doing, seek out information from people who've already been there and done that, who can really help you. And it's not going to be your girlfriends and all these other people, but that's the other thing I've learned too, is keep your plans to yourself and let everybody see them, when you're ready to put them out. But that's
Mm-hmm.
the most important thing that I would say, is to be around like-minded people.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now you mentioned something absolutely key as well. You talked about jealousy.
Hmm.
And that can be something that we would be concerned about. And the reason why, of course, we would hold our plans to ourselves until we're ready to put everything out, because you don't want any opportunity for sabotage to occur,
Right. Right.
because you want to be successful, right?
Mhm.
But how do you remain conscious of those jealousies without being, overly like paranoid? And then if you run into a situation where there is some, underlying like shade being thrown, how do you handle that?
I think a lot of it comes with maturity, maturity,
Mhm.
age, because some things you already been through in life. Jealousy is one of them. I'm in my 50s. I've been
Mhm.
through jealousy before. So, I've learned, and the other thing that's important is, if you know that this is the gift that God gave to you, why are you focusing on other people, and their
Mhm.
jealousy? It's just, all that is a distraction. And for me personally, I refuse to be distracted. I've lost friends just since I started my station because of their jealousy, because of the things that they say when I'm like, wow, well that was negative, and if you're my friend, you
Yeah.
don't do say certain things, and so I do the cutoff. I love you, but I'm loving you at a distance, and you can't be a part of what I'm doing. That's it. No,
Right.
listen, it's not personal. I'm just walking in my journey. And that's what
Right.
everybody has to understand, that as you progress in whatever you're doing, there are going to be people that used to ride and die with you, or you thought they were going to go to the grave with you. And you're going to find out that everybody does not grow at the same pace. So as you're growing and progressing, your girlfriend or your guy friend over here might still be in the same place. And then the hating, the jealousy, and all the negativity comes out. You got to keep moving, because if you stop and you go back and address it, you're not making any money. You're not making
Hmm.
any moves. You're doing the same thing they're doing, and you have to rise above that. Hopefully, they will catch up. Like I said, no hard feelings, but some people are just not ready to go on the journey, and I'm okay with it. If they're okay with being back there, I'm okay with moving forward. And that's how I look at
Hmm.
it.
Absolutely. We have to be conscious of not being distracted,
Yes, absolutely.
by their insecurities or insufficiencies,
Hmm.
and we can reach out to encourage people to a point, but we can't take responsibility for their success,
No, no, no.
you
And
know. and
everybody,
and sometimes, go
yeah.
ahead.
No, I was going to say, um, you know, I have to be honest and say that I have reached out so many times, because in
Hmm.
my brain I'm thinking they do need a chance. I could be the one that gives them that chance. I could give them the opportunity, and I
Yeah.
promise you, I got burnt every single time,
Oh,
because
wow.
people are not ready to go on the journey. They're not. We want them to be ready, and we can't make them be ready. So what I've learned, I've lost money, a lot of money, helping people out, pushing them. I've given away free shows and they didn't show up, just so many things. But these are the things you learn as you're building, whatever business you're doing. These are the things that you learn along the way. And, and a lot of times, a lot of people will look at people like Oprah, Tyler Perry, all these big people that make money. They're like, they never want to help anybody. They never want to give anything. I absolutely understand what they're saying. You know,
Yeah.
it's not for everybody. It's not.
Yeah.
And when you get mad and upset, it's okay. But they have learned to say, no, I'm not going to do it. And that's what we have to learn too. We have to think with our brain and not with our heart.
Hmm. Hmm. So you've mentioned a couple of really good things for us. First and foremost, well, just then mentioning that we have to be able to set our boundaries.
Mm-hmm,
It
mm-hmm.
is clear for us that we, first of all, can't take responsibility for other
Right.
people and their success. But then we also have to know our own boundaries so that we don't allow them to infringe upon what we're doing and our activities and to be a distraction to us,
Mm-hmm,
you
mm-hmm.
know?
As
Um,
people run a guilt trip on you, like, oh my goodness. And at first, I used to let it get to me like, they're right. That's right. I shouldn't be doing this, or I should have given them a discount, or I should give them an opportunity. And then when I saw how they treated me after I actually did what they did, I said, you know what? Everybody is not worthy of your giving, your greatness, the opportunities you want to put out there. Friends and family, everybody's not worthy of it. So you have to be wise enough to pick and choose who deserves that. And to be honest, a lot of people that deserve it are people that you don't know. It's not
right.
the people in your circle, it's the people that you don't know that are going to come to you. And so I tell people now, when God starts pulling people out of your life, let them go. Let
Yeah.
them go. Don't go back and grab them, because he's moving them out of the way so he can send other great people into your life to support you on your journey and to continue pushing you into your purpose. But if
Mm,
you keep reaching back and pulling those people, you're never going to go anywhere.
absolutely. Absolutely. And that is key for us to keep in mind. So that's why we want to make sure that we're paying attention to their attitudes that may shift. We
Mhm.
want to make sure that we're recognizing that we're not taking responsibility for someone else's success, but that we're recognizing when they are supportive,
Right.
and we're setting our boundaries so that we're not taking responsibility to, allowing them too much leeway, and
Yes.
giving it, allowing ourselves to even be distracted,
Hmm.
by those relationships or situations. So we want people who are going to contribute to our greatness,
Right.
contribute to our encouragement. And that's one thing that I emphasize in this community so much, is that encouragement is absolutely essential for us.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's,
You
no
have,
one can be successful without that.
that's right. Absolutely. You have to have thick skin, because this entrepreneur thing and trying, especially, I'll say this, being a Black woman,
Mm-hmm.
um, I've had to have really thick skin, because even graduating a few weeks ago, there were people like, "Oh, you want to preach? You want to do this?" No, I didn't go to school to be a preacher. No, and I just sit back sometimes and I'm like, people just hate so much, So I turn it around and I'm like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? And what degree do you have?" Because
Mm-hmm.
when you turn the mirror around to them, they get to look at themselves. You're not hurting me in any way. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing what I've been called to do. What are you doing? You
Yeah.
know. And so I've learned to turn that mirror around, not let all of what they say, just let it roll off. Because if you are flourishing in what you're doing, you're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
So keep moving and you keep hanging around. Most of the people in my life now are new people. They're people that I've met within the past year. And most of my old friends, we're still friends, but we're friends at a distance. They
Yeah.
don't really fit into what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that you, in the process of building your network, you've got, different social media that you use in that process. Of course, you've got the magazine that's online as well as printed. And then, of
Mhm.
course, you've got the radio, where you provide opportunities for other entrepreneurs that may not have the financial stability in the beginning of building their business to go
Mhm.
to major radio and say,
Right.
get the exposure there, but they get an opportunity to practice with you, as well
Mhm.
as to engage your audience,
Yeah.
the audience that you've built and the community that you've built,
Yeah.
to be successful there.
It's crazy because, like, I live in Baltimore, and it's places that I go there like, Lady J, Lady J, Lady. People want to take pictures and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm really thankful because it lets me know that I'm doing what I've been called to do, and that's be out in my community and really helping the people in my community and showing them that you can do the same thing. This is not about me trying to be rich or get out here and be like anybody else, but it's about reaching back in my community to
Mm-hmm.
say, you can do this. Like, you have a voice, you can sing, or I can put you in the magazine. Speaking of social media, a couple of times, this is the second time that all of my pages were shut down. I had to start all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now, tell us a little bit about the backstory on that. So, what happened with your
so
social media?
Yeah, so the backstory is that, again, there's a lot of jealousy, and I'm not going to say who the person is, but I know who she is. I know exactly
Mm-hmm.
who she is. And so the first time was when I started my station. Now, mind you, I just started in radio in 2019, and
Mm-hmm.
somebody discovered me while I was in Las Vegas, and
Mm-hmm.
it just blew up after that. And then I
Mm-hmm.
went on to be in partnership, and I had all these shows. And then I had the bright idea in January of this year to start my own station. It was something I had been working on. The
Mm-hmm.
station has grown. The magazine just started this year. That sells out. Everything is growing faster than I can keep up with it right now.
That's awesome.
And so there's been a lot of jealousy.
Yeah.
And when I started the station, the third week into us doing really great, ratings high and everything, all of my social media pages were shut down. And in doing StreamYard, you go through YouTube and all these things, and so you use these to stream. And all of a sudden, I get these notices that I'm showing and sharing inappropriate material. And I'm thinking, no, we're not, you know? So 13 pages.
Oh,
Everything shut
wow.
down.
Oh,
And when I
wow.
tell you, I went into a meltdown because I'm thinking, I just started this station. I have all of these people, and how am I going to stream? So for 4 days, I had nothing to stream through. But thankfully, it was from a Friday to Monday. I don't do shows on Friday.
Okay.
Saturday and Sunday, I don't do shows.
Right.
Monday, the shows normally start around 5 o'clock on Monday. The pages were put back up at 4 o'clock that Monday. So
Oh,
it didn't affect anything. Right?
right. That was like in the nick of
Yeah.
time.
So everything came back up. So it didn't affect us, but I had a serious meltdown.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, you know what? This is never going to happen again. It taught me how to lock down my stuff to the point that if a shutdown happens again, I had a meeting with everybody because I'm really open with them about, you know, what I'm doing. And I said to them, if this will never happen again. But if it should, we'll keep rolling. So the day before my graduation, no, the day of my graduation, I'm sorry, I was at an event. And I was graduating like a couple hours later, but I was out at an event, networking, doing a whole bunch of stuff. And this person happened to be there. And so I knew something was going to happen. The next day, I woke up having a graduation party. I'm getting ready for the party. All of a sudden, I get these notices. Your pages are going to be shut, or they are shut down for posting inappropriate material. Wow. I went like this and got my clothes on, got my hair, every makeup done, and I went to my party and had a good time because everything is so locked down. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And I turned around and I was like, you know what? I just need to start a new Facebook page. All the other stuff they couldn't touch. Started the Facebook page from scratch. And I guess everybody was looking for me. You know, they came back to the pages and we have not stopped. You know, I had a meeting with everyone because I didn't want them, because every day people look for me to post stuff. And so the day of my party, people were calling like, Lady J, I don't see your page. What happened? Are you okay? People were going crazy. And I finally said, I'm good. I'm going to my party, deal with this tomorrow. Woke up Monday morning, we kept rolling. And, you know, we got shows tonight. The thing is, you have to ignore haters. If you, and I said this when I did my live, if you have that much time to sit down and write lies and say that I'm posting inappropriate stuff and you're having this page, 13 page, you're having everything shut down. If you have that much time, have at it, you know, have at it. I don't have that much time. So I let it go and we just kept moving. And we're still
busy working. You're busy working and building.
Yes. I listened on graduation day, right? We had a virtual graduation. And so the doctoral class, we were the last names to be called. And all of the different departments, you had to shut your screen down until it was time for them to call your name, shut your camera up. So while I was waiting, I was networking. I had my other screen up. I'm networking. You know, like, shoot.
Never stop. That's right.
But I just tell people, like, you have to laugh at stuff like that. You have to keep going. You have to keep growing because it's not about the likes and emojis. It's about your reputation. It's about your character. It's about who you are. So this person shutting everything down, it's cool. It's fine. But people still know Lady J. People are still purchasing the magazines. You know, they're still listening to the shows. So what did you do? You know, but if you have that much time, I just say have at it. Go. You know?
Absolutely. And so what that shows is that you've built a rock solid network.
Yeah.
You know, the network that you have because you continue to move forward instead of being distracted by the jealousy and the hate, the negativity. You focus on the positive, being productive and making progress. And that's what you continue to do. So we are so proud to see that you continue to grow. We will continue to support you and wish you all the best, Lady J, as you continue to make your strides forward. forward.
And
You're
thank
welcome.
you for having me on. Like, I appreciate it. I'm always humbled when people want me to come on and talk, because it just shows what God has done for me. Because I don't know if you know my story, but I'll tell you really, really quick.
Okay.
I was working in the health field for 25 years. So
Mhm.
my goal was to retire from the health field, but I had a massive stroke.
Oh, wow.
And when I had the stroke, it knocked out everything. Like, I couldn't remember how to talk, use my phone, computer, nothing.
Oh,
And
wow.
I ended up being in the hospital for a month and a half, and it took me about, I would say, 3 to 4 years to really learn how to get to this point of, I had to learn everything all over again.
Right.
So
Wow.
I had a massive stroke in 2015. I had another one in 2016, and I had another one in 2017. So all three times I had to learn how to walk and talk and learn how to do all of this all over again. And I
Mhm.
felt like God was just saying, you know what, I got something better for you to do. And what I did was, in that time of not being able, like my job said, you can't come back to work, because I
Right.
was a district manager, and they said there's no way you can come back to work anymore.
Right.
And of course, I went through my sadness, because I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, now what I'm going to do. But when I went to Las Vegas and I just started pulling out my phone like I normally do, hey, what's your name? And I'm talking to everybody. I'm a social butterfly, and I'm just talking. And I ran into somebody who owned a radio station,
Mhm.
and she just thought I was fabulous. And I'm like, I'm just doing. This is
You
fun for
doing
me.
what you do.
And this lady gave me a show. And at the
Mhm.
time, I was still in therapy, and she would be on the screen just like you are with me, but
Mhm.
nobody could see her. And she
Mhm.
would actually tell me, like, when to go into commercial break, who do this, say that. And because I was still recovering from my stroke. And
Right.
um,
Wow.
this woman just, I mean, she's amazing, and we're still friends. And these are people I'm talking about. We're going on a trip next month, as a matter of fact. We're still friends to this day. The crazy thing is that I met her at the Stellar Awards because she was covering the Stellar Awards.
Mhm.
I went there with my sisters just to get away, because I was in my little depressed state.
Mhm.
And what's so crazy is, next month my station has been chosen to come and cover the Stellar Awards in Nashville.
Congratulations. That is
So
fabulous.
it's just like, when I look at my life, that's why I'm always so
Yeah.
humble and so grateful,
Yeah.
because it's been a long journey for me to even have a conversation with people. And so to be where I am now, and just to see, like, the growth and the movement, I'm just always excited. So I don't have those, like, how people get big heads about this and that. I'm just
Yeah.
me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just me. I'm just humble, for everything. So thank you for having me
You're
on. I
absolutely
appreciate it.
welcome.
And I wish you all the best in what you're doing as well, too.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. That story really helps us to understand that regardless of how challenging our circumstances are, it is our attitude to continue to move forward, to recognize our blessings, and
Yeah.
to learn the lessons that we need to learn in order to get through and to thrive, to get
Hmm.
beyond just surviving. You know,
Right.
and for some woman who is out here going through, repeated challenges, it's like you going through the same thing over and over and over again. What do you do to get out of that? It's you just keep going. You don't
Going.
give up.
Right.
How do you succeed? You don't give up.
Never give up. Never give up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lady J, for coming on and sharing your story, your tips, your encouragement. Now, of course, everyone, you can contact Lady J through Instagram at Lady J Media. You can also find her on Facebook at just look up Lady J, Charlene Jenkins. And they'll be able to connect with you. And your business is Social Butterfly Media, correct?
Well, they can actually, if they go to ladyjmedia.com, they can pull up the website. Like, we're on the radio right now. They can
Yeah.
pull up the website. They can listen to shows. It'll take you to watch the shows live. So just go
Awesome.
to ladyjmedia.com. They can also subscribe to the magazine there, too.
Absolutely, and I'll include a link for that underneath the description for this video as well, for the replay, because it's going to be replayed and replayed and replayed. We want everybody to benefit from this amazing knowledge, the strategies and the tips that you've shared. Thank you so much again. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of your vacation, and I know you're going to be working late tonight.
Yeah, my 2 shows, I got to jump off because I got a show about to start in like a few minutes, actually.
Yeah.
So we'll be in touch. We'll talk.
Absolutely. All right. Have a good night. Thank you so much. Take care. All right. You too. So, ladies, you can see from Lady J's example that there is nothing that can keep us from succeeding when we have the desire, the determination, and we decide not to give up. So continue to do what you're doing. When you have questions or concerns, feel free to reach out. Reach out to someone who is, doing what you'd like to do, and maybe you need some encouragement from them. Just look at their example. There are so many examples on YouTube, through social media, where you can actually reach out to people. Feel free to reach out to me anytime as well, online or through marimoorlife.com, which is my personal website, as well as and on that website, that I have a ton of resources. I have contact information for the guests and links to our more videos as well, so that you'll be able to, get more information about how to continue growing as a wealthy woman. Tonight, we talked about your net worth network. Next week, we actually have a 5th Wednesday in June. And so we're going to have a really interesting story time, and I would love for you to join me. So come on back here next Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. I'm sorry, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will look forward to sharing with you some more information about women, wealth, and wellness. Have a wonderful evening.